audio. In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio. In audio.
Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and we are live for the Premier League review. And we thought, you know what, man? The people asked for it. They wanted the trio. You know what I'm saying to you? Man like LB came in. You get what I'm saying to you? So we thought, why not bring it to you again? We got Lee Gunner, bigger fish to fry, in the mud. You're a negative fan.
Yeah, man,
Lee
toxic.
Gunner,
I'm
toxic,
toxic,
yeah.
man. I'm toxic. You know, I've resorted myself to drink. I'm on the Marquis de Riscal 2018 Sauvignon Blanc this afternoon. 31 degrees outside. It is glorious, and I'm sat indoors all day. I've got 5 live streams and the recording to do.
Shit, man. You work hard.
Tomorrow's
You
the
just
same,
said
bro.
that.
Tomorrow I've
That's
got
a
about
good
1 million streams as well. Arsenal play, and then I'm trying to get them all out the way early because my mum's flying in on Wednesday for a month. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I ain't seen it since last September, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of cool.
Nah, big up, man. You always got to shout out the mums in the world as well, man.
Yeah, you've only got one mother, mate.
Yeah, exactly. LB's in the building. You know, I mean, 3-point collectors as well. What are you telling me, bro?
Mentality monsters.
I feel like I might as well just leave this stream now. Do you know that?
Nah,
But yeah,
mentality
man.
monsters are
Big up to you,
cooking. Cooking, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, cooking, definitely cooking, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Over 300 in here already, man. Love to everybody who's tuning in, man. But we got to talk about the game yesterday, man. We have to start about the history. The history of Tottenham Hotspur.
Is there a more like hated footballer in the Premier League than Richarlison?
You know
Because
what?
like, I don't know any football fan that likes him. Even Tottenham fans don't like him.
Yeah,
Bro.
that's embarrassing, man. It's fucking embarrassing. You know what I mean? He's just looked like a proper mug, hasn't he? You know what I mean? Like,
But this is the history of the Tottenham, yeah, right? Because this is what I don't like about modern football these days, yeah. He's been there for the whole season, 22 league games, scored 3 goals that were offside, right? He's backed off his top in nearly all of them, right? And then yesterday, they equalised. There's still time to play the game, and they're all in the crowd celebrating. Like, backing his top off, shushing the fans. Why don't you just get the ball out the net and say, right, now we've got the momentum. There's 3 minutes of stoppage time left. Let's try and win it. Instead, that's the history of that football club. They're going to jump in the crowd, shushing everyone. Bro, I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there, and I recorded it off my design.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I was like, no way have they just drawn at Anfield, man. Like, and by the time I finished the recording and it was uploading, Liverpool scored.
Bro, it's literally from the off. You know what? It's so typical of Spurs to be 3-0 down, then come back and have some hope, and then be all taken away from you. That is Tottenham Hotspur. Like, generally,
it's arguably worse than what happened against Newcastle, isn't it? Because Newcastle, like you get smashed in that, and it's just like it's one of them days. It happens to everyone, but then 3-0 down to actually show some fight. You're like, oh wait, maybe Tottenham, maybe we're showing something here. Maybe we're not just going to capitulate for the rest of the season. And then what? 20, 30 seconds later, man, what is he doing, man? Why? At least just hit the ball long, man. Just go low, bro. You got like a minute left. Why are you passing it backwards for, idiot? That is just absolutely bizarre. Like, what is he doing? Honestly, it's insane. And Richarlison, mate, I just think he's just come across as a proper mug. You know what I mean? I didn't personally have like an opinion on him. Like, obviously, I knew he flopped at Spurs. I didn't really have an opinion on him, but like, he just looked like a proper mug. First of all, like you say, taking the shirt off, getting in the crowd, shushing everyone when it's a point in a pretty meaningless game. That's pretty mad anyway. I get 3-0 down, 3-3, like you're going to be kind of buzzing, but shirt off, shushing people for a draw and throw it away like that, man. You just look like a fucking idiot, man.
He's a protagonist.
He said it best when we won the league at their ground back in 2004. Yeah, Tarico was jumping up and down in front of Henry, and Henry said, look, that's their mentality. They're celebrating a draw. They're celebrating a draw. And yesterday they were celebrating a draw only to have it nabbed. Bro, no other club, that I can think of could have done that yesterday. Like, not even Arsenal, who were thrown away an 8-point lead, would go 3-0 down firstly, then come back to 3-3 in the 93rd minute, and then 20 seconds later lose. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're going to get refunds again?
City do that. I don't think Arsenal have ever done that.
You reckon the refunds are coming back out or what?
Bro, well, it was funny because after 5 minutes, bro, I put Expression stream on. Yeah, he was going.
Oh my god, that is probably the craziest moment on YouTube, man. That 30 seconds, yeah. Like, I thought I had it. I don't know if you remember, guys. Yeah, I did a stream back in the day. Yeah, I think it was against Leicester, and I thought we got a draw, and I think Jamie Vardy got the winner, and I think they won. I think was it 4-3 or something like that. And I was celebrating still the Rashford goal. And then they ended up scoring. But this here, Expression celebrating, that nothing will top that. I don't think anything will top that. Literally. Like,
he didn't even know they'd scored, Liverpool. He was jumping around his living room or wherever he was sitting, jumping around. Richarlison! And then he didn't even know that Liverpool had scored. Good, It was funny, because he was right. He was up here. He was in the stratosphere, bro, with Harry Kane's missed penalty. Orbiting space. He was gone, head gone. And by the time he's seen that, bro.
Even Tobes as well. Tobes normally is like so dejected from Tottenham. Even he was celebrating. So it's like, it's just funny what football does.
I sent him a message, I sent him a picture, Tobes, of Richarlison giving it all of that. I said, imagine backing your shirt off, shushing him only to lose 20 seconds later. He went, yeah, but he did his job. Big up Tobes, man. That troll has been in my chat since the Liverpool game. He's there every day, mate.
He's there every day, man. That's why for me, you have to stay humble. You know what I'm saying? But I think ultimately, the game was comical anyway. Van Dijk was comical. I mean, listen, man, I don't know if you guys see the splits there, man. There's a picture going around, man. I'm going to try and find where it is.
Two poor sides, isn't it? Two poor sides. Two really poor sides.
Two really poor sides, yeah. Absolutely.
Why did you see him on the surfboard?
Yeah, that's the one I was saying. That's what I was trying to find. I need to find it now.
Hey, while you're looking for that, did you see Kane's interview after the game? I thought it was pretty interesting. The guy doesn't look like he's fucking. He looks like he's checked out, man.
That chance he had in the first half when they were 3-0 down, and he was clean through, and then he squared it to Son. Yeah, and it was like, that's hilarious.
You got that? You got that one there?
Mate, the internet's too quick.
Oh, the internet's quick. You got this one here, caution, wet floor.
How do you get your body into that shape? Like, I mean, look at Nah, come on, man. That's mad. And Perisic of all players.
Yeah, that's a madness.
He's washed though, isn't he, man? Van Dijk, he's been such a good player, but he's finished, man.
I said that injury that he got, man, it just killed him off because I don't think he's ever trusted his body anymore, man. Like he doesn't sprint no more. He just looks like he's a little bit scared of his own body. And you see this happen to a lot of players. When they get injuries, they come back and they don't. You see it a lot normally with like quick strikers when they get like a lot of muscle injuries. They come back from the muscle injuries and they just lose a bit of pace. And it's not necessarily that they've lost the pace; it's that they're not prepared to fully sprint because they're worried about something going ping. With him, it just, in my view, it just looks like he just doesn't trust his body, man. And
when it's leg injuries as well, all them muscles in your leg are connected.
Yeah.
So it's like he's
yeah.
then probably putting extra stress, even if he ain't sprinting properly, on some other part of his leg.
Yeah,
Mate. I knew from when I watched the first game of the season, they played Fulham. Yeah, he got twisted up for a penalty in that game. Yeah, and I just knew he was going to have a poor season, man. He just didn't look on it, and I thought, yeah, you're not right, man. Like, you're not right. And then since then, bro, it's been comical. I can't lie. It's been comical. Yeah,
Their partnership hasn't been well. I think Konate's been the one that's been carrying the defense, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? I think he's been there. I think they need to get a centre back next summer. I don't know who they go and get, but Van Dijk will have to be a bit part player. It sounds crazy, but he will have to be one of them players that come in when you need to. I don't know if you had that when you had Keown back in the day, when, you know what I mean, towards the end of his career. He'd come in when he need, but Sol Campbell and whoever, I think it's Colo Torre.
Keown came off the bench maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 times in the last season that he was there. I think he started 3 games in the Invincible season. Yeah, and I think he came off the bench because back then you had to get 10 games to get a medal.
Okay.
I remember Wenger kept him on the bench against, I think it was Leicester, the last game. Yeah, and we beat him 2-1. But the time was ticking into stoppage time, and Keown's going, Gaffer, get me on. I need my medal, man. And he got him on his stoppage time. But yeah, it was funny, man. But did you see the commentator saying Virgil van Maguire? Did you see that?
No,
Cheeky, that guy, the Arab guy's cheeky.
Bro, I was
messing around,
I couldn't believe it. And Gary Neville saying, yeah, Spurs should set up a direct debit for their fans every week. Hey, that club, is universally known as banter. Like, no matter how bad my side's been and your side, Saeed, has been, right, over the years, bro, that club will always make you laugh. Because every day they're saying, just going on at their football club, if it's not go-karting, it's Beyonce. If it's not Beyonce and go-karting, they're announcing NFL. Or like, then they're losing 3 goals in 9 minutes at Newcastle. Then they come back and then they're losing stop. Like, every day.
You know what's crazy as well about Spurs is like you go back like 3 or 4 weeks. Their season wasn't even like in disaster. It was just sort of like just going along. And I think we spoke about it, Lee, on the stream. It might have been last week actually, about they were just achieving what they were meant to achieve, which was aim for the top 4, and they were thereabouts. And then obviously that game at Southampton happened. Conte come out and fucking slagged everyone off, and then since then it's just fell off the cliff, man. But their season up until that Southampton game, it was just going along as everyone. No one expected them to challenge for the league. No one expected them to really finish outside the top 5. It was just finish 5th to 3rd, and that's sort of where you are, and that's where they were at. And then all of a sudden, they've just absolutely, it just looks like the players can't be arsed, man. I mean, I'm looking at that first 20, 30 minutes again yesterday. The players just look like they just don't give a fuck, man. And that's a serious problem. Because they could seriously...
You've got man out here saying, give Ollie Skip the captain's armband, give Mace the job. Seriously, man. Like, what manager in world football would honestly want to take that job?
This is what I'm saying.
You've had Jose Mourinho there. He gets them to a final and they sack him on the week of the final. What's that all about? Then they go and get Conte in. They get top 4. Yeah, they don't really back him, like, because he didn't get all the players he wanted. They got the players they wanted. Yeah, like, they're giving him Jed Spence. He didn't want Jed Spence. He probably wanted Ashley Young. Like 40-year-old Ashley Young was saying. And the funny thing is, I said this to Tobes the other day, and I heard Turkish saying this as well, saying, what was your expectations for the start of the season? And he said 4th. Yeah, like, and maybe win a trophy. He said, so where was you in the league when you sacked Conte? 4th. So why'd you sack him then?
They were 4th when Conte left. When Conte left, they were 4th. But
now they're 6th.
Now they're 6th, and they could finish 7th or 8th. Let's be honest. Like, I don't know. Brighton have got a couple of games in hand over them. I mean, Aston Villa will probably get better form than them and
Well,
do
Aston
something.
Villa are level on points with him.
There you go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Brighton have got Brighton have got 3 games in hand over them, and they're 2 points
Yeah.
behind.
And if you look at Spurs' fixtures, they got Palace, who are flying under Hodgson. They got Villa away. They got
Cool.
Brentford, Leeds, who will be scrapping to stay in the division, and then they got is that West Ham? I don't know if that's a preseason.
No, that's
game.
pre-season. That
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So they got difficult fixtures. I think their season is over. It didn't need to be like this. And the thing is about Conte, kind of understood why they sacked him after what he said, but like. Just go and get another manager in, man. What are you messing around with Stellini for? Why are you messing around with Ryan Mason? Apparently, Pochettino wanted that job. He wanted the top. Just go and get him in straight away. Even if it's just like, right, come in to the end of the season, get us top 4, and then at the end of the season, we'll have a discussion whether we want to keep you, you want to stay. Happy days. They're messing around with that Stellini fella, who apparently, I don't know about if this is true, but apparently fucked it in Series C in Italy. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, apparently so. He had a job in Series C.
He's doing his research, I didn't know that.
No. Someone told me that. So I'm just saying it could be true, though, based on the results that they got. And then they messing around with Ryan Mason, who, I feel sorry for Ryan Mason, honestly, because like he looks like the only person who actually
He needs to chill out, though, man. He thinks it's big bollocks, isn't it? Like, I don't know where I
Yeah, but at least he cares. At least he cares, bro. No one else cares, isn't it? The players don't care. I don't look like Harry Kane cares based on his interview. He didn't give a fuck. I mean,
he's going to get the job as well. He'll get that job because Levy's all about saving money, mate. Yeah, Mason's shown enough of in a comeback against United, won the second half. Yeah, no, they drew the second half, didn't they?
Yeah, I think no.
No, they were 2-0 down. No, they did win the second. Yeah, so they come back to 2-2. Yeah, they were 3-0 down at Anfield. They come back, even though they lost. They've shown some fight and character. Like his halftime team talks are obviously working. Their fans are all gassed over Ryan Mason. Yeah, the players respect him. Like, bro, he's staying.
But there's no front runner, though.
Different.
What's crazy about this, though, there's no front runner. There's no really one. Nagelsmann's not really going to come. I genuinely don't know who's coming to Tottenham. Like, you know how normally you kind of like gauge Chelsea are getting Pochettino. There's rumours now it's about to happen. I don't know. And Harry Kane is still sat beneath all of that, questioning about, their ambition. And yesterday, I don't know if you see this interview, he goes, something's not quite right. Well, it's not quite right, and you need to leave, my mate. 30 goals in a season, 30 goals still in the Premier League. That's crazy, by the way, to have 30 goals in the Premier League, and still, like I said to you, you know what I mean?
I think they're finished, bro. I genuinely think that club is now finished, and I'm not even saying that as like a roast. Like I've not got no bad beef against Tottenham, you know what I mean? But like, you got to look at the facts. Look at the facts. Look at the Premier League table. Yeah, look at the teams that are in there, right? So City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man United, Liverpool, and I'd expect Chelsea will all finish above Tottenham. So that means that next season, especially if Harry Kane leaves. If Harry Kane stays, maybe they might creep in there. But if Harry Kane leaves, they're going to finish at least 7th because they're not going to get past none of them teams, in my opinion.
25, sorry.
Yeah, then you look at like Villa. Okay, Villa's spending money. Villa got Emery, who's a class manager. That puts them possibly down to 8th. You look at the likes of Brighton, Brentford, can they kick on? I genuinely think that if Kane leaves this summer and they don't spend 250, 300 million, which they're not going to do, I think top 10 is genuinely the aim for Tottenham next season. And the maddest thing is, it did not need to be like this. If they would have invested in that squad after that Champions League final properly and gone 250, 200 million, let's compete, it wouldn't have been like this. But they didn't. They backed off. And as you said, Saeed, Levy is like a penny pincher. And as a result, he's let the squad rot. And this is where you're at. And I genuinely think that the aim for Spurs next season, if Kane leaves, is top 10. And people might laugh at that.
The problem they've got, is 3/4 of their fan base is South Korean. That ain't even a joke. Yeah, somebody was telling me the other day, I think it was Henry maybe, was telling me that there's a South Korean Spurs channel that's got 500,000 subscribers. Yeah, and it had 9,000 people watching the watch along. That's the biggest Spurs channel out there, and it's the South Korean one for Son.
Yeah.
So
it's got a big poll,
that'll just change its name to something else, to wherever else he goes, because they're not there for Tottenham, they're there for Son, which I get. Yeah, because he's the biggest superstar in South Korea.
He's their Ronaldo, isn't it? He's their Ronaldo. He's their Ronaldo.
Son Aldo. Son carry on that. X told us, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, bro.
We got it with Mahrez, Lee. We get a lot of Algerian followers, but they're not. They don't.
My baller.
But yeah, and I know you love them. Most of them are following Mahrez, but they bring obviously this economy into the club and fan base and interaction with the club. Like if Son gets off, then.
But you see it all the time at Man City when the game's on. You always see the Algeria flag in the crowd. There's always somebody in the crowd with an Algeria flag because they want to see Mahrez, bro. I don't blame him. He's one of the best footballers I've ever seen. Like top baller, bro. Like, so I've seen a lot of good footballers. He is quality. But same with Son. Like, their income must be ridiculous off of him being there. Yeah. So if he leaves,
why do they want to keep him?
And then Kane leaves as well. Me personally, to sort that football club, they both have to leave. Yeah. And then just get the money in for him. Add another, like Lewis says, add another 100 million on top. Yeah. And go and plug all the problems at that football club. Go and buy 2 players or 3 or 4 players with the money you'll get for Kane and Son. Yeah. And now you've got 2 strikers. You can go and get Ivan Toney for the Kane money and still have change. Yeah. Ivan Toney had level up from Brentford with all due respect. Yeah. He bags goals. He scored 20 this season in the league. So he's only 5 behind Kane. Yeah. And they'll be playing for a bigger club. And he wouldn't have to relocate. Ivan Toney would be perfect for any of the London clubs. Yeah.
We won't talk about that because I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I'm involved now. I've been dismissing Ivan Toney a lot.
You're on board now, yeah?
I'm on board. Yesterday I said at my show, I'm finally on board now because what I want to talk about is to score last season. I think he got 17 goals, and now to score 20 goals in the league, bro. You cannot do that by just being a random footballer or a flop or one season wonder. This guy sniffs goals and he scores goals. Just gonna read this.
Me and Rance have been repping this guy since Championship days, bro.
Well, there you go.
Same with Ollie Watkins, I was rating Ollie Watkins when he was playing for Brentford. I was like, that guy's not saying. Yeah, and he's getting better. Yeah, and both of them. I said in the summer when we signed Jesus, I said, why don't we just go and get Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney? Now, I like Jesus. I think he's quality, yeah, but we need goals, and Jesus ain't gonna bag you enough goals. Yeah, like keep him, get him in the team. Find a formation, have Ollie Watkins on the bench instead of Eddie, have Ivan Toney up front, Jesus on the left, or floating around behind. You could play Jesus in Odegaard's role.
I do like to see the development of Arsenal fans with Jesus, man, because when he was first there at the beginning of the season and he was slamming goals and everyone was like, yeah, City have made a huge mistake. And I was like,
yeah, I remember that.
You watch at some point he was because he was overperforming his XG, man. And at some point I was like, nah, you're gonna see that there's a reason that City were happy to get rid of him, and it was because he couldn't in the big games and the big moments you couldn't rely on him. And it's a shame because I do like him and he's a good player, but in my opinion, his best position at Manchester City was on the wing, and that tells you all you need to know. That's all you need to know. You look at some of his biggest performances, bro. You remember Real Madrid in the Champions League twice. Yeah. Unbelievable times on the wing, man. So his best performances came on the wing.
Which is why it baffles me that we don't drop Saka at times, because we can play him there. We can play Jesus there instead of Saka and sit Saka on the bench when he's dropping in form. Yeah. You can still play Trossard up front or Eddie up front. I'd rather Trossard, obviously. Then you can play Martinelli on the left. Yeah. It's mad. Yeah, he's a good player, Jesus. I liked him when he was at City. I thought he was a top player.
Me too. I like him.
We need somebody like him. But we need a striker as well that's going to bag you 20 plus goals, and we ain't got that, man.
Absolutely. Michael, big up Michael with the super chat. He says, I'll be honest, Levy is his worst enemy when it comes to the football decisions, because when you deep it, no one wants to Tottenham because the club cares more about making money than being ambitious. Ambition, yeah, you're right, 100%. That's why they got Beyonce. They've got Wizkid.
They got the rugby final now as well. They've sorted out the rugby final. They've got that there.
It's not at Old Trafford anymore. The rugby league final. Normally at Old Trafford.
Maybe it's the rugby union. I don't watch it, so I don't know. It's a rugby final at White Hart Lane.
Wow. Hey, yo, you know what, Saeed? It's funny that rugby league final. I went to it last year. I'm not that into my rugby, but my mate was going. He was like, "Oh, you want to come Old Trafford and watch this rugby league final?" So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll come. Bro, within a minute, this rugby player goes, boom, cracks this guy on the side of the head. I'm like, whoa, it's going to go off. Shake hands, carry on. I'm like, what the fuck, mate? What is going on? It's crazy.
My mate used to watch rugby league. We used to go watch the Wigan Warriors. And he used to be into it. So I was like, let me see what it's about. And it's good, it's a good watch, You can do everything, you can swear, you can understand, you can do everything you want. It's pretty much laid out. So, yeah, man, if anyone wants to watch rugby league, you know what I mean, get into it, man. But big up to
No,
Singate.
the VAR system there is proper as well, man.
I know, and they speak as well. They speak.
Yeah,
The
you
referee,
can hear the refs are mic'd up, man.
everything, man, proper. But yeah, big up to Singate becoming the latest member of the channel. I appreciate that, my bro. Big up to Facts Only says Manchester City just surpassed Liverpool's follower count on Instagram, become the second most joined followed English club, small club with no fans apparently.
massive.
Let's move over to Tottenham.
Where are they
sorry,
at the
Man City.
weekends then? Because they ain't in Manchester.
We're massive.
I'm
We're
joking,
massive.
I'm joking, by the way. Every time I've been to Man City, yeah, right, that is a myth, by the way, that they got no fans that turn up, right?
Yeah.
Right. Every time I've been to the Etihad, it's been sold out, and it has been sold out. It's not just saying it's sold out like Arsenal do. Like when there's 40,000 there, they're still saying the attendance today was 61,000. And you're like,
You know what it is though? I think for me, the reason why I never say like, I know we have that song 20,000 empty seats, but deep down, I used to live near Main Road, where my family lives over there, and I used to see like their stadium was always full every single year. So I was looking at
35,000 into League Two and shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't really go into it too much. I'll still sing the songs 20,000. I love that song, but you know, what I mean, I've got to give it. Like my brother used to go down there when I was younger. Like I said, you know what I mean. He tried to get me to be a City fan, but I said no. And then obviously, you know what I mean.
Right, that's a man. So you're telling me in an alternative universe, we've got a Saeed TV doing Man City content.
Yeah, literally. If it wasn't
That's
for
crazy.
my uncle had a Sky. Basically, back in the day, you either gone to the game or you watched it on the Sky. And my uncle was the only person in Moss Side to have a Sky box. You know what I mean? Times are tough then. So he would say, "Come over." And the first game I watched, was Man United versus Arsenal. Remember Thierry Henry when he controlled it with his chest, lobbed it over.
Lobbed it over Bartes.
Yeah, that was the first game. And then ever since then, I kind of just loved United, and it was kind of like, you know what, I loved the Arsenal rivalry, and it was a case of like then, but everyone else got sucked in. I went that way. It's crazy, isn't it? I saw the light, man. I saw
most of your family is City, isn't they?
most of it. Literally, all of my family, apart from one, City fans. So it ain't easy. It ain't easy. But let's move on to City. Alvarez got the winner. LB, you're buzzing. You know what I mean? It was a weird game. You know,
it was going to be. It was it was always going to be a tough game, though, bro, innit? Because like we just played Arsenal on Wednesday, so we've not had that much rest. You know what I'm saying? What was it, like 3 days rest? It's going to get even trickier. I think Wednesday could be tough, man. We got 2 days rest, and then we go again on Wednesday. It looks like rumours going around again that Kevin De Bruyne might be out for that one again, and we just look.
What's happening with him? Because I didn't really hear.
He just has some like little issue in his leg. I think he'll be all right for Leeds at the weekend, but he just needed a little bit of recovery time. But we just looked fucked at the end of the game. We played so many games recently, and obviously Arsenal took a lot out of us. We put a lot into that game, and yeah, I don't know if you watched it, man, but by the end of the game,
because we were running around pressing you, mate.
No, it was because we was working so hard. Yeah. But yeah, we looked knackered at the end of the game. İlkay Gundogan looked like he couldn't fucking move. But, you know, we just got to go again on Wednesday. I'm a little bit worried about Wednesday because, like I say, we just do look absolutely fucked.
Irons.
I'm kind of gutted because, like, 3 weeks ago, West Ham were on, like, some decent form. And I was thinking, you know what? By the time we play them, they'll be safe. And whilst I don't think they're going to get relegated from here, the 5 points clear, they're not fully safe. So they're not going to be on the beaches, which is a little bit annoying. But if they would have got, like, another win or... You know,
I know what you mean.
It might have just been on the beaches. So I'm a bit worried about Wednesday, though. Can't lie. It's because we look knackered, isn't it?
It's one of them games where it's like they have enough in that team to kind of get a result. You know, West Ham do have some match winners in there. They might, you know what I mean, they might sit back and you never know, Moyes, they might do something. But in all honesty, the way Man City are playing now, they're a machine. They're a well-oiled machine. They've just got that siege mentality. I've seen Pep Guardiola trying to play up to the cameras and that and look like he was a bit kind of like, you know, worried and that. But he's intense. And that's what Guardiola is. He's a genius. He's a perfectionist. And you know what? That's what you want, isn't it, really?
I thought you were supposed to just roll over and die when City went 1-0 up. I thought that's what Fulham was supposed to do. Like, that's what Arsenal do. That's what everyone else does. Like, they go 1-0 up, that's it, it's done.
Yeah.
You know, how did Fulham stay in the game the whole game? How did they even equalise? I mean, is that even possible? Are you allowed to do that? I mean, come on. Yeah, that game, like, Fulham didn't really get any breaks in that game. Yeah, but the winning goal, I mean, mate, what a finish. That goal was just top class, wasn't it?
Top class.
That was the best goal of the weekend for me, man. That goal was so good.
No,
We could have got him.
Alvarez is decent. And I've seen someone in the chat before saying Jesus is better than Alvarez. Have a word with yourself. He's absolutely not better than Alvarez. You know, tell me what Jesus is better than Alvarez at. You know what I mean? They both press just as well. And
How didn't Edu find this Alvarez? 'Cause apparently we go for the best young talent in the world because it's a youth project. How didn't we find him? Like, how did you get him?
We could have got him, you know. Rangnick wanted him, and then Man City went in.
Yeah, they did. And David Moyes wanted him as well at West Ham, and they decided to stick with Antonio, which is a madness. But it's the same with that Enzo. That Enzo was available for 10 million quid, you know, when he was at River Plate. And it's crazy. If you watch that South American league, you watch some of the players and then you go, yo, he's and they're available for cheap.
Yeah, but this is the thing, Lewis, right? When I watch, because I watch a little bit of the Portuguese league, because I get it on the zone, yeah. So, like when there's no other games, I think, I'll stick a bit of Porto on or a bit of Sporting or Benfica or someone, yeah. Mate, them leagues, yeah, like South American league, yeah, I get the Copa Libertadores on the zone as well, yeah. So I watch a bit of it every now and again, yeah, when it's on, obviously. But bro, they're so technically levels above English footballers, yeah, or European footballers, mostly like English, like French, like they're so far clear of the Germans technically. Like, and people just sleep on them because it's don't know about him. Yeah, like just give me South American ballers. Yeah, look at Alexis Sanchez, Aguero. Like, come on, two of the best footballers I've seen in the Premier League for a long time, man. Thanks. Yeah, they could do everything. They could score all types of goals. Couldn't get the ball off them. Like, but this is the way we should be going. Like Real Madrid always like a South American. Yeah, and they don't tend to do too bad, do they? Like,
and the thing is as well, that you only say you sign 4 or 5, yeah, you only need one of them to come good, and then you're in the money. Because you very rarely, well, exactly. You very rarely you're spending more than £10 million on one of these players. Maybe you go up to 15, 20 max, right?
Yeah.
So you get these players in, and yeah, you know what? Some of them will flop. We've had a couple over the years that have come in and they don't cut the mustard. But you find, you look at Jesus. He's paid his money. You got Alvarez. He's done it. You know what I mean? And but Alvarez now, how much is Alvarez now worth? Probably 70 million quid.
Easy. You know what I mean? He's a hybrid. He's a hybrid between Aguero and Tevez. He's got that bit of rawness. And he's also got the finishing as well, and the kind of cute cleverness, and I just think he's a good player. And here AJ says, "Hey, Alvarez can play Haaland and KDB role, absolute baller." And listen, man, it was a big win.
He can play as a second striker as well. He did that in the World Cup. Yeah, him and Messi. Yeah, he was the legs for Messi, mate, in that World Cup. And when they were playing together, he was just brilliant to watch in that World Cup, man. He was so good. Yeah, and I knew when he come back from the World Cup, like he's up against Haaland. You ain't dropping Haaland, but. He sat there, he's patient, he takes his chance, and then when he gets on the pitch, mate, he's quality, man. What a footballer. Yeah.
Well, he embarrassed that Lisandro Martinez in the World Cup, didn't he? You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he started the tournament, Lisandro Martinez, and then they brought Alvarez on and were like, fuck, this guy's clear, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But now you needed to win.
You mean Lautaro Martinez?
Lautaro, man. That's what
Lautaro.
Yeah.
Inter Milan.
He's embarrassing. Lataro's embarrassing, mate. He
needs to cut that hair off, man. It's weighing him down, bro. Like his hair's up here. It's
I know.
Like, just get it shaved off a little bit, mate. It's just weighing you down. Yeah, like when he's taking his shots, it's like Lukaku shooting. Like, come on.
Yo, 100%, man. But you know what, though? I think for me, I think Man City getting that momentum now. They play. Obviously, Arsenal can go back to top. And obviously, Man City go back to when they play that game in hand. But how are you feeling now? Is that momentum? Do you reckon now you're feeling that now? That's it now? You know, Lewis?
Nah, not yet, man. Because like I say, I'm worried about Wednesday just because we look knackered.
Come on, you're doing this pep thing, man. You've won the league. Just be right. I know you Man City fans love to like.
You know what?
You've won it, bro.
I need Arsenal to drop points in one more game, and then we've got it. At the moment, the good thing is we've got 2 draws in the bank, right? Because we're ahead, so that's good. But you kind of want to be using them draws if you need to use the draws on the likes of Brentford, Everton away. That's going to be tough.
Brighton is going to be tough.
And I wouldn't say Chelsea personally. We've got Chelsea at home. I actually don't think that's going to be a problem. I think it's the other games that'll be the issue there. So you get through these next 2 games. West Ham and Leeds, both at home, then I think we've done it. Because I just think we'll be all right. And I don't see Arsenal beating Chelsea, Brighton, and Newcastle. Truth be told,
bro, I don't see us winning another game.
Yep. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
honestly, I don't see us winning another
Wouldn't
game. I
surprise me.
said to you the other day. I said if you slap us, yeah, I said that's it. It's done. We were mentally shot after Southampton, mate. Them players were on their knees, nearly in tears. Yeah, they knew. And then look at the way they put in that weak performance up at your ground, man. That was embarrassing. That could have been double digits. Like, that ain't even a joke. Ireland could have scored 5. Yeah, De Bruyne could have had a couple more. Like, it's embarrassing, but you've won it, man. Yeah, you've won it. Like,
I do think we will win it. I just, like I say, just get through this next week. Just because we've played so many matches, man, and I just need this next week. You're playing against teams at the bottom. They're going to be scrapping. No Kevin De Bruyne. We look knackered. But, yeah, we get through this next week. And like I say...
Have you lost a game since the charges were announced? I don't think you've lost a game.
We're on an 18-match unbeaten streak.
Mad. Since that Leipzig game, I reckon it's just been kind of mad, you know. I remember that Leipzig game at home. It's from that day, that's when City just went, boom, like turned over a new corner, and it was a siege, man, it's goals. And Haaland now, 50 goals as well for the season. It
makes us worse, you know. You know that, Saeed. It makes us worse, man.
Can't believe that.
Imagine how good we'd be if we didn't have Haaland this season, man. Jeez, we're crazy, innit?
Crazy, man.
We walked this league. We would have walked this league if we didn't have Haaland.
Scary player, man. Absolute scary player. But listen, Man City keep rolling on. Keep liking the video, people. There's still 1,000 people in here. Make sure you're getting the likes up. Let's get to 500 likes at least by the end of the show. Make sure you're following the guys, man. Lee Gunner's channel. Make sure you're following him, doing big numbers on his channel. Lee Reacts as well on his channel as well. And obviously City Extra. Both of the links are in the title as well, so you don't even need to leave the stream, and it'll take you there straight away. But let's talk about Leeds, man. I don't know you guys, but they're in trouble, you know. They're in trouble. And that's why I wanted to focus on Leeds right now. There's a video I wanted you to play here, and there's a lot. It's going around a lot of it's going around on Twitter through the rounds here. I don't know if you guys have seen it, by the way. I think you've seen it, Lee, haven't you?
I don't think I've seen it.
But this is the Leeds players before the game. See the kid there trying to wave.
Oh, no, I did see this. This is a disgrace, man.
Watch the security guard. Keep your eyes on the security guard in a minute, yeah?
Yeah,
there he is. Right, keep your eyes on him, yeah? Look where he's standing now, yeah? Look at where that little boy... Look, he didn't even look at him. He's waving to these players. Look at that little boy, man.
I think that's
now watch the security. He now goes and stands right in front of that kid. So no players can see him.
I do think that's disgraceful.
Scumbag.
Disgrace, mate.
You know what's mad as well about this is, like, wouldn't you have thought after the Arsenal thing last week that all, like, the PR people at the clubs would have been like, listen, if you see anyone like in the area, like, you know what I mean, and you're not in a rush, like if we're in a rush or whatever, fairs, but they didn't look like they were in a rush, just go over. If you've not got time to sign an autograph, just give them a high five or something, you know, pat their head. Yeah. But man, like, where's the PR at that? Because you've seen City, you know, after the Arsenal thing, you've seen City mock it a little bit, and then we had a game.
Even United did it as well.
United did it, didn't they? And they, you know, there was like going ham with the mascots and shit. But like, where's the PR, man, at this football club?
Do you know what's crazy as well? Before Leeds have even come out and said anything, Barstool Sports, said, get us in touch with this little boy. We're sending him a Tyler Adams signed Leeds shirt. I swear they tweeted it, bro.
They're trolls, man. They're absolutely trolls.
Like, they are trolls, man. Dave Portman, the biggest troll on the planet, but I love him. I'm here for it, bro. That guy don't care, bro.
Fair play, because he's got one. Because obviously he's American, and he's probably signed one back in the day, so he could do whatever he wants with that shirt. But you know what it is, though. Do you think, like, it's a good question about modern day footballers now and how they perceive themselves? Do you think they're connected to the fans now more, or do you think
that I know for a fact, right, I don't know if this is still the case now, but when Wenger was here the last few years, I know for a fact that every player that stopped outside the training ground, got fined by the club.
Oh.
Yep. Right, to be fair, it is when you come out the training ground at Arsenal, there's a row of cottages, right? And you turn off a really busy main road, you turn into the training ground. There's a little driveway where the cottages are, and there's a gap, and then the training ground's behind the cottages,
Yeah.
Right. There's speed bumps all the way. There's a big long driveway, but there's a tiny little gap before as they're coming out of training, there's maybe 50 foot, and then they're on the busy main road. Yeah. But bro, I know for a fact Arsenal players used to get fined if they stopped out there.
Well, that makes sense, you know, because that video there, that tells me that the players have been told beforehand. Because you see how the players are looking down. It's almost as if the players don't want to look at the fans, because if they do, then they'll have to say, sorry, I can't. So they'd rather just not have that conversation and say, sorry, I'm not allowed to sign your shirt, so I'm just going to look down. So it's for me, I think Lee's probably right. I think someone's telling the players not to do it. But like in a situation like that, yeah, they look like they're in some sort of hotel. I'm assuming everyone in that hotel there has probably been like vetted or checked or whatever, you know what I mean, to make sure. What are you telling me?
That's in Bournemouth as well. So they're Leeds fans that are in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, yeah, it's in Bournemouth. But look, guys, though, all it takes for me, I think for me, if you don't want to shake the hands or sign up, just look up and smile and just say, yo, you're right, guys.
You're right.
Look at that little boy, man. See how happy that little boy is standing there with his little pen and paper to try and get an autograph. It's embarrassing, man. But that's modern football. They're scumbags, man. They don't give a shit about fans, these footballers, mate. Yeah, fans are a hindrance to them and a chore to them. Yeah, like...
It shouldn't be a chore, though, because they kind of technically pay for your wages. They do everything. Yeah. Without football, without fans, there's no football. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Yes,
you say that, Saeed, yeah, but we went 2 years with no fans.
Well, there you go.
Like, yeah,
but Saeed, you are right, but you've also got to come back to that point, as if they're being told by someone at the club that they're not allowed.
Yeah.
And then, like, what about if it's more than a fine? You know what I mean? What about I don't know, like. But it just stinks, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Because like the little kid, man, all he wants is like he don't. Even if you just look at, like you said, bro. Even if you just look at him and say, "All right, mate, big game today. Come on, we're going to do it." Like, he'll be buzzing, man. We all remember it. I remember being a kid and seeing fucking. You know what? Actually, funny. Speaking of Spurs, before I remember when I was young, man. I was probably about 11, and me and my dad went down to Tottenham. We had my dad got, like, you know, one of them corporate boxes because he worked at this company and he got us on a box, right? Yeah. And I must have been about 11. Yeah, I goes down to Tottenham and it was the team when they had Edgar Davids in it. You remember?
Okay, yeah. So it was early 2002, 2003, around there.
Yeah. So I'd have been 9, 10, something like that. And there were so many wankers, man. I remember Carrick was there. He was sound. But yeah, we went to get a photo with Edgar Davids and he was I was only 10 years old, but he was a complete and utter twat. And the security guard said to me as a 10-year-old, he's a total dickhead. I was just like, what? Stuart Pearce was our manager at the time, I think. And I went up to him, just didn't give me the time of day. And it's just like, you know, you don't need to have a full conversation with me, lad. You know what I mean? You don't need to have a full conversation with these kids. All they want you to is acknowledge them. They want you to look in their eyes and just say, are you all right, mate? Move on. And then they'll look at his mum like that.
That'll take them through the rest of their life and they'll talk about that forever. Like, look at when we were signing the shirt. Yeah, not one player looked at her. Right, I know she's there and she's getting a freebie and all of that, and she's getting a free shirt, her and her dad are getting a free ticket, and they're going to see her and take pictures after and all that. But a simple acknowledgement. When she see Odegaard, mate, that girl was nearly in tears. She was like, "Wow, she must have been shaking." Like, and then there's another video that was doing the rounds on TikTok of a guy holding his baby.
I seen that one. That was bad, you know.
I've not seen that.
In fact, that probably was as bad, yeah, because they were all walking. He's holding his baby. The baby's crying, so they can all hear the baby. And the only person who even acknowledged him was Eddie Nketiah.
Oh, wait. Is this the guy when he was like, oh, you're going to play for Arsenal like in a few years?
Yeah.
I did see it.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. He was talking to his baby, you're going to play for Arsenal.
He was outside, wasn't he? They were going on a walk.
Yeah, they were going on a walk.
No, I did see it.
It was the worst one. He was just like, who are you, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, bro, do you not have like? I just don't understand. I feel like players now are robots, though. This is what it is. They're robots. They're not just like people first. I think now the club have trained them to be extra PR, extra this. You must do this. You must do that. It's like they've forgotten who they actually are, and that's what these players.
You know, who used to be really good for Man United? Juan Mata, man. He was quality.
Yeah, top man.
One of my old bosses. Yeah, he used to take his boy to Old Trafford every week. Yeah, and Juan Mata used to come outside. Ibra was good as well. That was when Ibra was playing there as well.
Yeah.
He said, like, him and his boy would wait outside. Yeah. And Juan Mata, doesn't matter how many people were there. If the coach is ready to leave, it don't matter. He's signing every single autograph.
Yep.
Yeah. He was going around with the disabled kids as well that are in wheelchairs and taking pictures with them all. He'd take the phones of the parents and take the picture himself. Right. Bro, that's gone from football now, though, man. There's very, very little amount of footballers in the game, yeah, that even care about the fans. Yeah, because they don't want to get clipped. They don't want to get, like, but when it's a little boy, man, I mean, come on. Like, there's a little boy standing there waving at his heroes. Yeah. Like, and you don't even put your head up. Like, he probably weren't even on the phone, that geezer walked past him. He's got his earphones on. I've seen it before at Arsenal with Iwobi and Welbeck and that. Like, when we had that team. We was in the underground car park. Yeah, and they just all got off the coach, head down, walking off. Like, don't give a shit. They couldn't care less, mate.
But then, Lee, so I come back to the point that you made earlier, though. So whose fault is that? Is that the players or is that the club for telling
I think
them
the
they're
club
not
tell
allowed?
them. Yeah, I honestly think the club tell them. Yeah, there's no way, yeah, that club has not told them when that security guard moves from there
Yeah.
to stand right in front. And look at how big that geezer was. He was a big lad, that
Big
security
lad,
guard.
yeah.
And
But then
he
is it
stood
fair to
right-
blame the players then, Lee? Is it fair to blame the players, though, if they're being told not to do it?
Yeah,
But it's about
yes,
perspective,
yes
isn't
and
it?
no, because for me,
Yes and no.
yeah, I'd expect a player to go bollocks, I'm doing it, and take the fine. Think how much money they earn, bro. Like, even if you're playing for Leeds, yeah, you're still going to get paid dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, let's say the maximum Leeds player earns in a week is let's say 10 grand. Yeah, which it ain't. It's more than that. But let's say 10 grand. If they find you 2 grand, you still got 8 grand, bro. Like,
But I think also, I don't think that they would get fined for signing up. I think it's maybe if they kind of went out of line or something like that, or kind of done something beyond what they were meant to do. Stayed there for made the bus late, something like that. Whereas I think a quick acknowledgement and it's all good. But listen, when I move over to Leeds are now considering whether to sack Javi Gracia following the 4-1 defeat. They're in trouble, man. I'm looking at the league table here. Let me try and look at the league table here. They're 16th.
I still think they're going to stay up. Like, I don't know, man. I just think them Everton and I don't know, man. I just see there's 4 teams. I think West Ham would be all right.
Yeah,
I think Southampton are gone. Yeah, Everton I think are gone. Yeah, and either Leicester, Leeds, or Forest are going. And I don't see Leeds going. I just don't.
but they conceded goals don't lead. That's what it is. Yeah, if you're not scoring goals, the biggest thing in football is that you don't concede them as well. You know what I mean? And Leeds are conceding and they're not
So if
scoring.
you look at Forest sides, Forest have scored 30 goals. They've scored 13 less than Leeds and 14
Boys, you seen the
less than
fixtures as well? You seen the fixtures?
Who?
Leeds, they got City, Newcastle, West Ham, Spurs.
So I'm
Oh,
saying,
maybe they are relegated.
That
I'll
is
take it all back.
fucking rough, man. That is rough.
Spurs will save Leeds. That's jokes. But I don't know, man. If they're gonna sack him, who would you bring in here just to save you? Like people say Sam Allardyce, people say look at Roy Hodgson. You know what? Look at him. He's balling out.
Yeah. So you know what's funny, Saeed? Yeah, is someone said to me yesterday, "Gets Big Sam in," but the problem is they don't have the players that Big Sam would want. I don't think.
They need to get Potter in there, man. Potter would give them Bielsa ball, wouldn't he?
I agree.
Like, I was big up Joe, man. Big up Joe Wyman, and I was in his comments.
Big up Joe, man.
Yeah, he's a top lad, man. Yeah, but I was in his comments last night. They were all fuming, man. They were fuming at the ownership. They were fuming at the manager. Like the whole chat was just lit up with angry Leeds fans, man. And it's like, it's a shame because Leeds back in the day, they were a top team, man.
Top team, man.
Like, and it's sad to see that they've got back in the Premier League and they've just not really bothered taking it seriously.
No. They've not brought defenders in. Like the problem with the Premier League is that you can't have these little players that play out from the back. You've got to get defenders in first, and this is why in the end you kind of falter. That they've got defenders in there, but I'm like they're not good enough, man, to keep you in the league. And the keeper for me, I don't rate him at all. Yes, he's he can play out from the back and all that.
I don't rate him either. I don't rate him at all, man.
Nah, but. They're in trouble, man. And like I said to you, man, they got battered by Bournemouth. And you know what? We're going to go through for the Premier League results for the weekend. Bournemouth, man. Gary O'Neill deserves his credit, man. Everybody was looking at him thinking, what? He's not a good manager.
That's a mad situation, bro. You've seen that the Bournemouth, because basically, right, so Gary O'Neill had a clause in his contract when he took over the club to say if he kept someone safe, he gets a 1-year contract extension automatically. So he's basically they're safe now, isn't it? So he's getting a 1-year contract extension, and a lot of Bournemouth fans are now kicking off because they don't want. I was listening to Talk Sport on the way home last night, and Bournemouth fans are now kicking off that Gary O'Neill is keeping the job because they don't want him to keep the job, even though he's kept him safe and he's done a really good job.
Mate, that's elite mentality, man. Yeah, maybe their fans should infiltrate the Arsenal fan base.
I knew Lee was going to twist that.
Hey, it's elite mentality. Listen, you've served the purpose. Yeah. The purpose is to keep us in the league. Just pay him his year's salary and bid him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cheap. Because if they get relegated after that year, they're going to lose millions. So
Fair play to Gary O'Neill though for putting that in the clause.
He's
Fair
done all
play.
right because I didn't think they'd stay up, bro. I thought they were nailed on to be relegated.
I backed it, man. I backed it because I just thought they'd win games, man. Like other teams just like don't win games, and I did back it a couple of months ago.
Their home form has been great, innit? Their home form.
Yeah.
I don't know how many home games they've won here, but I think their home. Even to be fair, Tottenham away they've got a result. Leicester away they've got a result. They've got a result where it's mattered the most, and I think other teams haven't done that.
They've been unlucky as well. We done them in stoppage time with Reece Nelson. Tottenham done them in stoppage time at their Bournemouth's ground in stoppage time. Like both of them games, they were 2-0 up in. Like, they're very unlucky. They could have had maybe 6 or 7 points more.
You know the level on points with Chelsea. I know they've got 2 games in hand, Chelsea. But you know the level on points with Chelsea.
Hey, you know what, right? Imagine if you would have said to the start of the season to a Bournemouth fan, with 4 games to go, you're going to be level on points with Chelsea. They'd be cooking. They'd be like, oh shit, European tour coming soon. You know what I mean? No, it's not quite like that, boys. Lucky, man.
Crazy. Man United got a good result yesterday. Aston Villa, I'm not going to lie to you, man. We nullified Unai Emery, you know. I was a bit surprised. Watkins got nullified. They had one chance at the end that was unbelievable deflection off the line, but Lindelof. But we were solid, man. We should have backed them in the first half, man. We had so many chances, but familiar story with Man United, though. We need a striker next summer, and if you don't get a striker next summer, bro, I'm gonna be.
If you had a proper striker this season, you'd probably be in a title challenge.
Probably.
Like, not even a joke. Like if you had Harry Kane up front this season or an Ivan Toney up front, you'd be in a title charge.
Yeah. Facts. 100%. I'm not even kidding you, man. We would have been a title race. But again, like I said to you, that's a difference in it. And you know what? It is what it is. But Villa should be proud of themselves. I think they're 9 unbeaten. You know, they just I don't know what it was, but they were so all over the place yesterday. And they're playing this high line.
That's what you get with Emery every now and again, man.
Yes.
That's why I like Unai. I think he was a decent manager, but he was so mistreated by our fans and by the club. Yeah, but that's what you get with him. Like He'll get you on a run. He'll get your strikers scoring, which he's done with Watkins. Like he'll get. I think he's only blanked in 3 games since Boxing Day. That's mad.
Yeah, prolific.
Yeah, it's crazy. But what will happen is every now and again they'll just look all over the gaff.
Yeah, you know Villa then. So what we're saying for next season? Because say that they finish between 6th and 9th, right? 6th and 8th, something like that. Yeah, they're probably going to spend a good amount of money. They've got some decent cash behind them. What we're saying then is that a top 6 the aim for them next season? Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think they might even get Europa League, you know, this season.
Yeah, if they get Europa League, it might get Europa League. But also, I think if they can get players that suit Unai Emery's football, they could be the team again. Like I'm not saying like a Newcastle, but someone that can challenge for that top 6. I think top 4 is difficult. You have to be consistent. You have to be, you know. I think top 6 Europa League football, European football. If they can do that, why not? They need to get a bigger squad though, because I looked at their bench today; it was a bit meaty. But
they're linked to Guendouzi, man. That'd be a good player for them. Who's the other one they're linked to? Tierney. They're linked to Kieran Tierney. Man City are linked to Tierney as well.
Oh, fair. Yeah, I've seen that as well. You know,
if they do get into Europe, even if it's the Conference League, then fair play to him, man, because they were 16th when he got the job.
Yeah.
He's done all right. He's done all right. And then if they go and spend a few quicks, they're going to have to play him Thursday, Sunday. The expectation again has got to be if they get Conference League this season, get Europa next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Crystal Palace, man. Listen, Roy Hodgson-Ball, mate. Listen, you know it is Vieira. I'm not kind of discrediting Vieira. I think he's a decent manager, but I think it just shows you when the shackles are off and you don't have anything to play for. You can just tell these guys, right, play football. It's easier to do that, but fair play though, man. He's turned it around over there. Eze's balling. Everybody's playing good football.
4 goal scorers. To be fair to Paddy though, the run of games that he had before Hodgson came in, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, like United, like then he had City again. I think like he had a lot of tough games and he didn't get battered in any of them. It was like 1-0s, 2-1s. Like I think
it was incredibly harsh. It was harsh.
Yeah, and then the run of games Hodgson's had since he's been there, it's like, well, maybe Vieira would have won them anyway.
Exactly.
So it's a little bit unfair on Patrick Vieira, man. But yeah, to be fair, Roy's gone in there and he's done the business, mate. And they were flirting with relegation. Like if they'd lost a couple more, they would have been sucked in. So kind of get it, man.
And now they're above Chelsea. You know what I mean? So it's mad.
Well, who isn't above Chelsea? Let's be real.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, fair play to them, man. Obviously, West Ham. I think it was a howler from Souček and whatnot, but all in all, I think they're going to do enough to stay up in it. But like I said, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was one of them games where they kind of messed it up a little bit. But fair play to Crystal Palace. Brentford, man, last minute, man. You know what I mean?
Oof,
Crazy. Huge, man. Nottingham Forest must be
yeah.
absolutely fuming, man.
That would have been a
Fuming.
big point as well for them, Forest, if they could have
Yeah.
got that. That would have took them to 16th above Leeds. Their problem really is though their goal difference, man. They got the worst goal difference in sort of the relegation scrap. So yeah, that point would have been massive for them. Brentford, yeah, you know that's 2 wins on a bounce for them. Finishing top half is pretty much guaranteed. I think it's mathematically guaranteed now as well. So what a
Yeah.
season they've had. Thomas Frank,
Yeah.
man, top coach, isn't
Yeah,
he?
absolutely, man. Absolutely. Ivan Toney's still scoring goals. You know what, man? It'll be interesting to see who actually go and gets him next season. You know, I generally think, you
I
know,
beg Arsenal get him, mate. I beg we get him.
yeah,
Him, Trossard, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. Oh my days, that'd
that'll
be
be
decent.
powerful.
Can't lie.
You need it. You need. I think every time when we always think of like, oh, but you know that means someone's gonna get subbed. You need a squad, man. This is why Arsenal are not getting to the next level. It's like because they haven't got the finished article in getting an actual goal scorer. But again, when this band gonna come in, man, I don't know why they're flirting with this forever. Like it's gonna come and it's gonna absolutely destroy him. So I don't know how he keeps his head mentally straight. Like, that shows you what a man he is. Like fair play to him. Like he keeps playing, performing, knowing
Yeah,
that
he's class, man. Do you know what? So one of my best mates is friends with him, like really good friends, like besties with him. Yeah, he said that guy, even after training, stays and trains even longer on his own. Everyone else fucks off. He's still there 3 hours later. He said his mentality, yeah, he's not out partying, and he'll come to Marbella every now and again and fucking out like in this pre-season and that. Right, but he's got a private pool at his villa.
Yeah.
Just hire it out. Takes his boy with him. He's not out partying. Just him and his boy. Like, apparently, he's like the proper model professional, man. Like, just train and train and train. And bro, you can see the trajectory he's been on. Yeah, bro, this guy was at Peterborough. He was at Newcastle before that.
Yeah.
Like, top player, man. Top player.
Yeah. Top player, man. Fair play to him.
And these charges for the betting thing, yeah. I don't even think he's going to get done for it. Like, it'll be a fine. Like, people
That's
are
what
talking
I'm
about.
thinking, man.
People are talking about a ban and this and that. He'll probably just get a couple of $100,000 fine or a suspended ban or something if he does it again.
Yeah. Unless were any of the bets in his own games.
That's the thing, though. It was in his own games. Apparently, that's what they're saying.
If it's in his own games, I think he'll get a ban. But if it's not in his own games, he'll probably, like Lee said, I think he'll just.
But then was it even in his name? I mean, some of these bets are going back like 7 years.
What do you mean? Whose name was it in there?
Yeah, 7 years. When he was in the Conference League, he was in or League Two. But he was
with Northampton, I think. Northampton.
Yeah, Northampton. Yeah, so that's the problem, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's one of them where, you know, he might have shot himself in the foot. But I don't know. We'll see, man. Sometimes the FA love to flip it.
Look at when Basuma was getting charged for certain things, yeah, and then Tottenham signed him. Week later, bang, he's off the charges. Like, you know, bigger the club, the better the lawyers you have.
Yeah, well, there you go. Exactly. Last game we've got to talk about is Brighton. What a win that was for them, man. Bro, listen, Brighton are they're serious, man. You know what? I'm worried on Thursday. I can't lie to you. You know what I mean? Some of their players were even like subbed off as well. They were even playing.
Mate, we got them next week as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Bro, that's mad. You know what? And Cisco, like another player that they just somehow get. You know what I mean? Fair play to. Oh yeah, sorry, Newcastle we'll talk about as well. But yeah, like I said to you, for me, Brighton, quality team. Again, De Zerbi, if he gets a couple of more finger people in there, you know, they'll be top man next season.
The problem for them is that they're in a non-disrespectful way. They're a stepping stone club. You know what I mean? And I say that with the best respect possible. In the sense that players want to go there because they know that Brighton's a great place to be. It's a great club. Not got any toxicity in the fan base. Everything's just going the right direction. And you know that you go there, have a mint season. Look at Cucurella. He was off after a year. Caicedo, he'll be off after a year. The difficulty for them is getting players and keeping this flow of players in that can come in and replace Cucurella, can come in and replace Caicedo. You know, and at some point they're probably going to get someone who can't do that, and then they'll probably dip a little bit. So for me, it's
Southampton, bro. Look at Southampton; they were getting stripped left, right, and centre,
exactly,
and they couldn't keep replacing them, and now they're bottom.
Yeah, so for them, it's about the scouts, man. They've got to be doing the best work, getting these players in, keep the flow coming. But everything's good at Brighton. They're having a great time. It's just about keeping that going. Because at some point, I can tell you now, at some point they won't get the right players in, and they will have a dip.
Like Southampton. Yeah.
Southampton gambled, didn't it? They gambled on youth, and it ain't worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Newcastle as well. Listen, they keep on winning. You know what, man? I think third might be there. I don't know. We'll battle for them for third, but
they might even get second, mate. Don't worry about that. They might even get second. I said this to you, bro. Like, they might even get second. We've got to play them on Sunday. We've got Chelsea tomorrow. We've got them on Sunday.
That's
like if they beat us, they go 7 behind. Let's say we lost to Chelsea, like hypothetically, right? They could go 7 behind us with a game in hand.
Yeah. With a game in hand. Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to lose. I don't think we will lose to Chelsea, but I don't really see us winning it. I can't lie.
Yeah. It's mad that, man. Fair play to them, man. You know what I mean? They keep on.
This is what I'm saying, Saeed, about processes and phases and steps and projects and that.
Yes.
Like, he's took that club from 19th in the table, Bruce Ball, to 3rd in the league in 18 months. He ain't needed 5 years. He ain't needed a billion excuses or phases and projects and merchandise wheeled out by ex-players. Like, all he's done is and he ain't spent a fortune. He's done 200 mil.
Yeah.
Like, and look at it, and 70 was on one player. Yeah, but other than that, they've been going in and getting Bruno Guimaraes for 30 odd mil. They've got Botman for 30 mil. Yeah,
it's a baller, man.
They paid for Trippier 12 mil. Like, bargain, man.
Yeah. Facts,
like, he's a quality manager, man, and he's got them rocking, man. Them Geordies must be loving life.
Yeah, and this is something that's a little bit not frustrating for me, but sort of like I laugh at is when some people are like, they don't recognise Arsenal have got the 3rd highest net spend in the last 5 years out of anyone in the Premier League. Like, and this is what we spoke about on a stream last week, Lee, is that Arsenal should be challenging for the league. Just people didn't think they was going to challenge you for the league last season because they bottled the top 4, but they should have been in the top 4 last season. So then if they did get in the top 4 last season, where they should have been, but they bottled it, then the next step in that process is to then challenge for the league. So I think they're exactly where they should be based on the money spent and where they should have finished last season. The only reason no one had them down for title challenges this year is because they bottled the top 4. But Saeed, you got top 4 this season. What your aim next season? Surely you're going to tell me is you want a challenge for the Premier League. You might not say we're going to win it, but
challenge for the Premier League. Absolutely.
But the only reason you're saying that is because you got top 4. If you would have finished 5th, you wouldn't be saying that. But Arsenal shouldn't have finished 5th last year. They should have finished 4th. They bottled it in like a couple of games at the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spent a lot of money, man. Spent a lot of money.
Yeah. But there we go, man. There we go. Big game for you as well, Lee, tomorrow. Obviously, make sure you check out Lee's channel, all the watch along, everything to do with that, man. Big up Lee for coming in as usual.
Super Frankie Lampard. Super Frank.
Wouldn't it be ironic if Mudryk scored his first goal for Chelsea? Yeah, against us.
I got a feeling, Lee. I got a feeling that
mate, do you know we've conceded more goals than Chelsea this season in the league? That's mad, isn't it? They're 13th and we've conceded more goals. Yeah, we've actually got the 3rd worst home goals against in the Premier League. Only Southampton and Leeds have conceded more home goals than us.
Yeah, that's pretty mad.
Yeah, and Lampard's beaten us there before with Chelsea, man. So yeah, I'm not confident at all. Like, people say it's negative, people say it's toxic. I don't really care. Yeah, like I've said a million times before, I've done over 200 grand on my football club. I'll say what I want.
Yeah.
Like,
and to be fair, you're not in much better form than Arsenal, than Chelsea. So
yeah, and not only that, we conceded 3 to the team bottom of the table, bro. Like in the last home game. So why would I be confident going into this game? The only thing I'm looking at is, well, Chelsea have lost 5 under Lampard in a row. Well, what was Southampton's form coming into the game?
True.
Like, they're bottom for a reason. So I don't know, man. Like man said, Lee wants Arsenal to lose, bro. I couldn't give 2 fucks what we do for the rest of the season because we ain't winning the title. Yeah, and ultimately, if you don't win, you've lost. That's it.
That's a mentality you should be having.
Oh, just quickly, I watched your video last night, Lee. I think it was last night or whenever it was. And Gabriel sharing some guy's status about there's no failure in sport.
Yep.
I mean,
That's the mentality, bro.
That is poor, man. That is poor.
Giannis was saying that, wasn't
he? Mate, him saying that has given so many football fans, like if you go and have a look at Sky Sports who posted that out, go and have a look at all the comments. There's thousands. I went through them all. Yeah, there's literally only about 5 people in the comments out of all them thousands of people saying, yeah, this is a disgrace. The rest are saying, yeah, that's the right mentality. The way that guy was sitting there saying to the reporter, "Do you get a promotion every year? Well, if not, you failed then." Well, what is that guy doing a reporting job got to do with elite level sport? You compete in elite level sport to win. Yeah, that guy is not winning a trophy at the end of the season. Yeah, that guy is not competing for a trophy. Like to compare elite level sport to a normal day-to-day job is pathetic. Yeah, and that guy's saying that. Like he said about Michael Jordan, he played basketball for 15 years. He only won 6 trophies, 6 titles. Yeah. So did he fail the other 9 years? Well, yeah, he did.
He did, yeah. But why is it not? That's the thing is, why is it not okay to say it was a failure? Like, and then the correct answer after that would have been, but we go again next year and we aim to win. You know what I mean? That would have been better. He made it. I think he wanted to kind of the copium again. I think we're living in a generation where.
My question to that guy when he said that, would have been like, I would have said exactly what I've just said, but then I would have said to him, "Why did you get into basketball in the first place?" Oh, because I see this player and I wanted to emulate that player, and that player was a great player, which is why you want to. Or I wanted to be the best, or I wanted to be the best. You have to win stuff. Yeah. So his whole argument would have been flawed off if he had just asked him that one question, but the journo bottled it.
Yeah.
I can't believe he said that. I retweeted it or whatever after the City game. That is embarrassing, bro. Some fucking crazy.
Yeah. But bro, this is the mentality of Arsenal. Yeah, like I've said this a million times. Different managers, different ownership now. Yeah, different sets of players, different sets of coaches, and the mentality is still top four. When we were 7 points or 8 points clear on the 12th of January, no games in Man City had, nothing. We were level on games, 7 or 8 points clear. Our CEO sat on Sky Sports and said top 4's the aim. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. The transfer window was open. We were linked to Caicedo at that point. Top 4's the aim. We were 7 or 8 points clear. That sums up everything wrong with my football club. The CEO saying that. Yeah,
facts, 100%. Imran said, "Did Giannis get a new contract every year?" Left for right. Yeah, man.
Let's see that would have been a good one. Yeah, do you get a new contract every year then, mate? Like, his argument could be so easily ripped apart. But the thing is, most people just want to take him part trophy now. Like I see at the weekend, Sheffield United got a trophy for coming second.
I seen that.
Yeah, and all the comments on the post. Well, yeah, but the playoff finalist wins the trophy, and they finish 6th or 5th or 4th or like. Well, they shouldn't get a trophy. They're getting about 300 million to come up.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
arguing with that as well. Yeah,
it's all lowering the standards, and the reason this is done, especially in Premier League teams, is so there's no accountability. Yeah, and all you get is the PR to say, well, it's hard to win. Oh, you can only have one winner. Well, that's been the same in sport for the eternity of sport.
Yeah. Facts.
There is only ever one winner, but you have to strive to be that winner.
Yeah,
you have to spend the money and get the players and get the ownership, the management, and all the structure in place, the coaching staff to actually achieve the goal. If you don't achieve it, this is why when people big up Brighton, right, and I am waffling, I know, but when people big up Brighton, like Lewis, you said earlier, like they've got some good players in there, but they've got to try and keep. No, what that owner should be doing is when they sell Caicedo for 70, 80, 90 million in the summer, put all of that back in the team, plus the extra money, that they were going to spend anyway. Now they can try and kick on. When it comes to the cups, at least they had a go this year, in the cup. But most of the time, these clubs don't even bother taking these cups seriously. Man City's always fuming. Bro, I'm not fuming. I'm just saying, just raising my voice doesn't mean I'm angry, bro. I'm sitting here with a nice glass of wine, looking at Gibraltar.
You're in the mud, Lee.
Odegaard's waving at me. He's still sat on top of the rock, bro, in Gibraltar. My show with Gooney's been cancelled, so I've got another 4 or 5 hours until I have to work again, bro. Life's sweet.
Life's sweet, bro. Man. Absolutely. On that bombshell, we're going to wrap it up here. Make sure you follow Lee Gunner and also his Lee Gunner Reacts as well. LB, big up to you for coming on. Make sure you let your titles in the video as well. You got anything coming up as well later on, LB?
Yeah, we got the player ratings, man, from yesterday. That's at 2 o'clock. And then, obviously, we just quick turnaround, man. We got a game again on Wednesday. So, just building up to that, man. Going to be a difficult game, as I said earlier.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But listen, people, we'll be back on Lee's channel on Thursday. And then, obviously, next week, we'll be back for all the dramas that happen on the weekend, man. So, big up to everybody. Please do leave a like on the video on your way out. And we'll see you soon, man. Take care, bye.